let's get into it. Max Verstappen, the story coming into the Miami Grand Prix was his little slip up during Q3 in qualifying the day before. He started P9 and made quick work of slicing through every driver in his path, ultimately overtaking his teammate as well to win the Miami Grand Prix. Now, Sergio Perez started on pole. I'm curious your thoughts, Lawrence, on the different strategies the team went for both drivers.
So they said their simulations suggested that Perez's strategy was actually the faster one. Max knew that starting from 9th, he probably needed to do something different if he was going to stand a chance of winning the race. And so he went with the hard tyres and then the medium. Him and his engineer were pretty convinced that that was the right way to go. Obviously, they were correct. Christian Horner had to sign it off to make sure there was no disputes within the team afterwards over who had the best strategy, who had the worst one. But going into the race, they genuinely felt that Checo's one was better. So what changed? Well, part of it was just Max being brilliant, and he really made it work. That long stint on the hard tyres, towards the end of it, he was still putting in ridiculously fast lap times for tyres of that age and that compound. And that was the key to victory. The other thing we should say probably is that Checo, I know he got pole position, but he was never really that comfortable with the car the whole weekend. And I think that was the difference, is that this was a racetrack that Max was really good at. He just made that mistake in qualifying. Then there was the red flag. That left him in 9th. Otherwise, he would have probably started from pole, done the medium hard thing, and won anyway.
Spencer, do you feel like it was a disappointing day for Sergio Perez?
On balance, no, because he was still second, and because that's where he should be. I think maybe our expectations of what he's capable of and where he is in the team in terms of the overall power scheme of Red Bull, I think they've been distorted by the past couple of weeks because we're looking for something interesting. But on the whole, if I told you this is the way it was going to play out today before the season started, you'd go, oh yeah, sure, that makes total sense. So like, I don't want to get too lost in the present, right? He lost position, but he lost position to Max Verstappen.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine as an F1 driver.
I thought it was interesting coming into the race. Caesars Sportsbook had put the over-under for Sergio Perez wins this year at 1.5. He's already hit the over, and we're 5 races in. The Red Bull obviously is unbelievable, but are we not giving him the credit that he's due as a driver? Is he just in such good form right now?
Yeah, I think that speaks to kind of some of the struggles he's had over the past 2 seasons and how good Max has been since they've been teammates. Yeah, I'm surprised they put it that low, to be honest with you, because I think we've seen he's got better and better and better. I think with with Sergio, the issue he's got is that on most weekends, you know, Spencer said, finishing second is no thing to be ashamed of. Problem is, the other guy in the other car is probably the best driver in F1 right now. And, you know, you've got to contend with that every weekend. So I think he'll probably get a handful, you know, if you're being honest. Like, I'd love him to get 10, because that would mean there'd be a championship fight. But I think Perez against most other drivers, I think, would be a legitimate title contender. I think he's just very unlucky that, similar to what Bottas had with Hamilton, you know, you're going up against a generational talent, and, you know, Barrichello had it with Schumacher, Webber had it with Vettel. You know, you have these characters in Formula One that sometimes are good drivers, but they're just not quite as good as the guys they're up against. So I think that's, pardon me, I don't know what happened there. This
has been a long weekend.
It has been a long weekend.
Yeah.
I think I've got some dust from all the packing up that's going on around here. But yeah, nothing to be ashamed of. But I think that the realistic expectation for Checo is a guy that's going to win you a few races, probably not going to win you enough to be champion as a standalone champ himself.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.